Today I am going to be discussing the new game that is Assassin's Creed Odyssey and a summary of all the major reviews we disclosed until now. Let's get started. First of all, the introduction. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is an action role-playing video game developed by Ubisoft Quebec and published by Ubisoft. It is the 11th major installment in the Assassin's Creed series and the successor to the 2017 Assassin's Creed Origins. Set in the year 431 BC, the plot tells the fictional history of the Peloponnesian War. Players choose between controlling a mercenary for either the Delian League led by Athens or the Peloponnesian League led by Sparta.
Mykonos Island, built from the corpses of giants slain by the legendary Heracles.
Read me the note again.
The game is set to release on Microsoft Windows, Xbox, Sony PlayStation and the Nintendo in Japan. Similar to Origins, Odyssey contains parallel storylines, one in the modern era while the other in the past. After intense moments dealing with the political drama and conflict in Greece, you'll jump back to the modern era to continue the story of Lala Hassan, introduced in Origins, who's working to uncover the secrets of the first civilization. Over the course of the game that can run to players well over 75 hours and likely more, players will run along the shores of Greek islands, climb the buildings of Athens and Sparta, sneakily assassinate or brutally slay hordes of enemies and command a ship to naval combat on the high seas. You play as either Alexios or Cassandra, descendants of the legendary Spartan Leonidas, as they fight the Templars, a group of evildoers who continue to act as the series' main antagonists. In your trek through the Greek mainland and the islands of the Mediterranean Sea, you come across diverse locations that showcase lush environments that pay tribute to the old gods. The amount of detail packed into each location is impressive, tied together by an active and dynamic ecosystem where local lives and civilians keep their territory. Odyssey's world is twice the size of Origins. Even though much of its playground is filled with the blue waters of Aegean Sea, the locations are beautiful and candy to the eyes. You'll make several key decisions throughout the main storyline, and in the side quests that affect the game's narrative and your character's journey. Most of the choices result only in slightly different endings for quests. Some decisions that do matter can lead to drastic turn of events, with some storylines and characters dying. There are 9 different conclusions to the story depending upon your choices. The world that Ubisoft has created is both beautiful and huge at the same time. Players are given the option of playing in exploration mode, which removes most of the information about where you need to go during missions, leaving it up to the players to discover it themselves. When you have a mission to complete, you will have to talk to NPCs to get information on where you need to go. The information you get will usually be general location, like telling you where your target is in the southern section of a certain region. If you look on the map, you will usually see a question mark icon in the area, meaning it's something you haven't discovered yet. It's enough information that you will know where you need to go, but not so little information that you will be left wandering around like an idiot, not knowing where to go or what you're supposed to do. Exploration mode leads to a lot of surprises. When it comes to combat, Odyssey keeps up with the recent trend to incorporate stat-based mechanics into the core gameplay. Compared to the previous game, now there's a greater focus allowing you to customize your characters to approach the challenges ahead. The weapons are swords, daggers, axes, maces, spears and staves, all of which behave just differently. During conflict, it's an easy to grasp system of slashes and scales. Odyssey no longer features the shield introduced in Origins, and as a result, combat flows at a brisker pace. By placing the emphasis more on dodging and parrying incoming blows from enemies, fighting feels more involved and dynamic. When it comes to naval warfare, it's the best it's ever been in Assassin's Creed. With the same familiar system of ramming and raining arrows on opposing ships. Your ship, the Adustria, has much more excellent upgradable options to buff out arrow damage, ramming damage, or durability at the cost of a ton of collectible resources. During your playthrough, you'll be able to recruit new lieutenants, giving you more of a fighting chance against the sea's greater threats. Once the ship has been fully damaged, you can either ram the ship to instantly destroy it, or you can board the ship to collect extra loot. Once you choose to board, your crew will jump over to the enemy ship as it's sinking. You can choose to take part in the conflict and dismantle the faction's influence in the region due to the ongoing war between the Spartan and Athenian army. In these conquest battles, you'll pick a side and cripple an army's hold by assassinating their leaders and taking their resources, culminating in a large-scale battle against their forces. While this is a solid way of gaining resources and improving your standing with the faction, the mechanics and implementation into Odyssey's journey system make it feel half-baked at best and spotless at worst. Another factor to take into consideration when you are traveling around the map is the mercenary system. When you commit crimes such as murdering innocents, stealing, killing animals, and sinking boats, your bounty level will begin to rise. Somewhat like the wanted levels in Grand Theft Auto. The more crimes you commit, the higher the level and the more bounty hunters that will be coming after you. One problem with the system is that the bounty hunters can literally just spawn out of nowhere and almost always will spawn near you, which can ruin a mission if you aren't careful.
Choose to play.
I'm looking for Kira.
What do you want with her?
Ha! The mercenary who bears the eagle of Zeus. You got my message.
It said something about paying me handsomely.
Huh. Mercenaries.
Athenians have enslaved our people for too long. Help us free Mykonos from their grasp, and you'll have more drachmi than you can carry.
I'm here to kill Diocles, not go to war.
Which is why I sent word of our rebellion to you and Sparta.
My men are ferocious in a ground assault, but we're outnumbered.
And Diocles fights with the fury of Ares.
Join us in battle! If you're half the warrior Kira says you are, we'll grind these Athenians into dust!
Creed Odyssey has a multicolored, beautiful open world which allows the players to get in easily. The story mission and side quests showcase diverse characters and complex themes of the era. Although it has a few glitches and can sometimes be tiresome with its lengthy progression system, it is still a wonderful addition to the Assassin's Creed franchise. Please like and subscribe if you like our content.